The story of becoming a veterinarian is a story of bird dogs, really. They inspired me to take that big jump later in life, and I feel like I see them for what they are and the way that they move and their anatomy in motion. It's just, it inspires me, and I want to be able to grab that with my camera and just show the world what it's like to see a dog doing something just unique to their species. Photography's always been for me a way that I've just immortalized memories. From well before I had any kind of professional gear, I've always been drawn to being a photographer. The first time I picked up a serious camera is when I moved out west, and loved sending pictures of big fish back to my folks back home in North Carolina, and kind of expanded out from rainbow trout to rainbows themselves and the other landscape, and just fell in love with it. And so much so that I wanted to do it full time and do it all the time. So I spent much of my first career as a community journalist, doing writing and photography and pretty much anything else that was required of someone in that position. You know, you got to have a versatile portfolio to survive in that game, and did that for a long time until I got the desire to become a veterinarian, which was a complete pivot if there ever was one. Okay. As I became a veterinarian, I just pushed it away as a hobby, and now that I've graduated and I practice and I still hunt a lot, it's like a perfect way to blend those two passions together, medicine and art. They often don't jibe too well. They tend to be polar opposites of each other, and I love finding ways to make them both work. I really went out there because I knew the fly fishing was legendary, and to be honest with you, it didn't disappoint. I spent a lot of days in the field when I first moved there, and then never really thought of myself as a hunter. In fact, I'd never really even fired a gun at anything until I was in my early 20s. Come to find out, I had moved to one of the best wing shooting places in the world. I really had no idea at the time where I had landed. And I was reading in those long winters some John Gierach, and he always was a great fly fishing writer. He always dabbled into the upland stuff too, so he was using feathers from the birds he killed to tide flies, and I thought, you know, that's probably something I could see myself doing. So it was a very romantic introduction into wing shooting. You know, within a year, killed my first sharp-tailed grouse. I wasn't getting choked up there, it's not that emotional of a story. I killed my first sharp-tailed grouse within a year of living there, and the rest is history. I mean, I don't know if it's worth pointing out that I was more or less what they refer to as an adult onset hunter. You know, I was in my early 20s before I ever really pointed a gun at anything with any purpose. It really changed my life, to be honest with you. Like, upland hunting was one of those things that just provided infinite challenges for me. So there'd be no way I'd ever master all this. And as soon as I felt like I did, some new envelope would open, and there'd be a whole new subset of things that I'd have to work on and get better at, and those kind of things. From training dogs to my photography and the work to wing shooting, those things are always evolving when it comes to upland hunting. That was some more dandy shooting there. Mostly it's just about the idea that there can be such solitude here that's grounding for me. I am never more in the present and living with purpose and intention than when I'm out upland hunting. You know, all the distractions in the world are gone, and you are brought into this sort of like uniquely human, like almost primal state of, I don't want to get, you know, not too much in the hunter-gatherer kind of mindset, but for me it's just like I feel the most human when I'm out here. For me, when I'm in the field, I'll have these visual memories forever, but there's something like, I just want to capture them to have them forever. Sort of being trained as a journalist, I'm in the moment documenting things as they unfold, and I want people to feel like they're right there with me, to like see what I see, and to slow down, because there's so many details from within the birds themselves, details in the feathers or on their beaks or in their eyes. Something about the landscape, you know, those little moments where the light's hitting everything just right, and there's just, you know, a beautiful sunset. It's not always about a pile of birds on a tailgate for me. In fact, it rarely is. There's so many layers to it. There's wing shooting, there's working with your dogs, there's the species you're after, there's the terrain you're climbing. All those things are challenges within themselves that you have to work through and master, and I feel like it's an unwritten story for me. Like I'm still getting better, still want to get better at those kind of things. It's so physically demanding. There's something about that physical punishment that you endure with it that is cathartic to me in a way. There's a huge physical barrier between your vehicle and where the birds are going to be. I think the solitude and the beauty of the landscape, the ruggedness, there's a sense of satisfaction of going up a ridge that probably hasn't had human footprints on it in 100 years. To me, that's just there's something innately human about that. I don't know, I can't get enough of it. There you go.
Hell yeah.
You double that one? Or?
Double, yeah.
You can't deny the fact that any sport where you get to be in an intimate relationship with a dog really takes it to another level. My first German Shorthair was a great first dog, like the classic first dog, like everything you'd ever want. As you're starting to learn what the pointing breeds are all about, what a versatile dog's all about. We put River down this October. He was 14, had a wonderful long life, was diagnosed with cancer and pushed through that for 2 years and hunted up into the last week of his life. He was very inspirational for me in so many ways. I mean, to make me so interested in changing my entire life, completely pivoting and becoming a veterinarian. I mean, I give him full credit for inspiring me to do that. I love being in the outdoors, but there's something about there being out there with an animal that likes hunting more than you do, and seeing their instincts come alive, things that have been bred in for generations and generations, kind of pairing with this human-animal bond that we've shared for tens of thousands of years with dogs. It just makes it so special. Can you work with something in there? Okay. Rushed off. Holy smokes. That's nice shooting, man. That was awesome.
Please come back. Please come back to me. Please come